The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future, as we present Major League Baseball 1982 replay. Yeah. Today, the Oakland Athletics and the California Angels from Saturday, April 24th, 1982. And before we get into the actual what happened and all that, just a reminder, if you live in New England and you have parents and they're of a certain age and healthy, you can still be healthy and be in your 60s, make sure that they're okay. My poor mother's woodshed collapsed last night because it's now raining like cats and dogs here, and there's ice everywhere. And the 45 inches of snow that she got up on her hill collapsed her on her snowblower and woodpile. She'll be fine. It's going to be okay. But everyone's a little bit shaken up. So that's why we're starting late. And so no one's moving to Florida. You get up in the northern New England things. I know southern New Englanders want to get out away from the cold as soon as possible. But you get into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and no one's moving to Florida. All right, all right. So, thanks for your patience. Now, last night the California Angels and Oakland Athletics played in the first of a three-game set at the Big A, and the Angels came back down to win the ball game 4-3. Oakland tied the game in the eighth. Ricky Henderson, yep, he can steal. He's got 15 now on the year. Hit a two-run solo shot run. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hit a solo shot to tie the game at 3 in the eighth. But back came the Angels. It went extra, and Brian Downing scored Reggie Jackson in his first 16 games as a California Angel to win 4-3. What's going to happen today as the Angels and the A's go at it from Anaheim Stadium? As Retro Sports Network presents Baseball 82. Today, live from Anaheim Stadium, it is the California Angels and those swinging A's. The A's are going to go with Steve McCatty, and the Angels are going to go with Jeff Zahn. We have a beautiful day for baseball. 71 degrees, wind out of the blowing out to left field at 11. And as we take you to the field, we have no picture for Jeff Zahn. That doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense, now does it? Let me get my screens in the way. Ice rake, yeah, it's kind of scary. They're okay. They don't have a garage. They had my folks have 7 acres. And so there is no garage. But she's okay and everything else is okay. All right. So the A's come into this at 8-8. I never liked this version of the Big A. One of my favorite childhood memories came here. But I never liked this version of the Big A. It's all decked out and closed for the Rams, and the Rams, of course, would leave in due time. The Angels, however, are in first place by a game and a half in the American League West. They're 11-5, and they go with Jeff Zahn, who was 3-0 on the year with a 1.88 ERA. In his last start, which was on the 18th, so 6 days ago, last Sunday against Minnesota, he went 6 1/3 innings, allowed 12 hits. That's a lot. 4 runs all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1, but he got the win. So on the year, 24 innings, 32 hits, 5 runs all earned. He has walked 5 and struck out 4, and as I said, got 1.88 ERA. So he beat these A's on April 7th, presumably, at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. 7 2/3 innings, 9 hits, so walk and 2 strikeouts. And so here's the lineup that Jeff Zahn will face as he takes his warm-up tosses. I'm going to move those outfielders in just a little bit. Time to make this stadium this morning. Ricky Henderson will lead off, and this is the year he stole 130, and he has 15 in the first 16 games. Davey Lopes will play second. He'll bat second. Jeff Burrows is the right fielder. Tony Armas is the center fielder. He'll bat fourth. Mickey Klutz. This is an all right-handed lineup against the lefties on. It's a third baseman. He'll bat fifth. He's part of the Billy Martin fan club. Cliff Johnson is at the DH. He'll bat sixth. Joe Rudy, the first baseman, bats seventh. Newman, and I forgot his first name, will catch and bat eighth. And Fred Stanley, the shortstop, will bat ninth. And Steve McCaddy should go 110 pitches. We'll see how tired his arm is. Around the defense for the Angels, between Mark Ryan Downing and lefties, a 6 and a 3. Fred Lentz in center, a 7 and 5. That should be Juan Benitez, not Juan Benitez. He is a 2 and a 5. The infield, Doug DeCince is at 30s and 9. Tim Foley at short is a 6. Bobby Grich at second is a 7. Rod Carew, the first baseman, is a 7. And Bob Boone, one of the best ever to catch, a 10 and a 9. And I don't know how this is going to look. This pitch is kind of sideways. But look at there. Ricky Henderson, despite only hitting 188, he has walked 11 times, has 15 stolen bases and 2 home runs and 6 RBI. So you're going to see from time to time, make sure I'm on the right screen here, some of my family's conversation and such. I was trying to make sure that wasn't on, but nope. So we're ready. John's ready, so is Henderson. And we're underway, and Ricky rips that one into center, and with a single. It only has a 50% chance of stealing second. So that brings up Davey Lopes. Davey looks so happy in that picture. 263, a home run, and 2 RBI. Don delivers. Lopes hits a fly ball into left center, down and goes back to make the catch. Actually made a leaping catch against the wall to corral that. And that brings up Jeff Burrows, the right fielder. Jeff at 292, no home runs and 4 RBI. Dawn's ready. Burrows hits this one in the center. Lynn should have it, and he does. And Ricky goes back to first. 2 out. For Tony Armas, who has 6 home runs in 16 games, and that's good enough to lead the American League, I believe. He's at 353 with 6 home runs and 16 RBI. He scored 9 times. Pitch comes on, and Armas, this one in the left, that goes down into the wall, and that ball is gone. A home run for Armas puts the A's up 2-0. That one hit the foul pole. And a good start for Oakland. So Henderson and Armas score. It's a 7 for Armas, and Oakland goes up 2-0. And so this battle of American League West champions of 81 and 82 starts in Oakland's favor. That brings up Mickey Klutz, Klutts, who's 0 for 11 on the year. Pitch from Zahn, and Klutz hits that one to Grich. Flips it over to Carew, and that will retire the side. Oakland draws first blood. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. After half an inning, it's Oakland 2 and the Angels coming right up. And so Steve McCaddy, what happened was Billy Martin won the American League West in 81 just by using his pitchers like they're dead ball pitchers. Would just run them out there every 3 or 4 days and not use his bullpen. Well, that worked in the short season. They got to the American League Championship Series before they were beaten by the Yankees. But over the course of 162 games, it's just not going to work. And those arms started to get tired. McCaddy is 1 and 2 on the year with a 3.99 ERA. He has not pitched against the Angels. His last start was a loss to Seattle, 7 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 2. So he's given up 9 earned runs in 20 and 2/3 innings, 12 hits, he's walked 10. and struck out 9. Here's the lineup he'll face for the Angels. How you doing, OG? Brian Downing leads off in left field. Fred Lynn will bat second. Ron Theroux will hit third. Bobby Grich will clean up at second. Don Baylor, the DH. Doug DeCinces at third. He'll bat sixth. Juan Benitez will bat seventh and right. Tim Foley, the shortstop, will hit eighth, and Bob Boone, the catcher, will bat ninth. Defensive, Jeff Newman is the catcher. Okay. Defensively around the caddy, Ricky Henderson is a 9. I don't know what his arm is. A 9 in left. Tony Armas is a 4 and 9 in center, and Jeff Burrows is not good, 2 and 3. Around the infield, Mickey Klutz is a 5 at third. Fred Stanley is an 8 at short. Davey Lopes 5 at second. Joe Rudy a 4 at first. And Jeff Newman is a 5 in the fridge. So now you got all the particulars. Brian Downing, maybe not your ideal leadoff hitter. 188. But he does have 3 home runs and 5 RBI already. Pitch from McCaddy, and Downing says this one keeps it up. Back goes Henderson in the corner, and that's off the wall. So Downing will hold at second, and a good way for the Angels to break right back. Brings up Fred Lynn. Freddie's off to a flying start in 82. I think this was his first year, or was it 81 in California? I think he left after the 80 season in Boston. 434, 3 home runs and 5 RBI. Already has a runner in scoring position. And Caddy delivers, and there's a ground ball foul third base side. So it's a 3-ball, it's a full count to Fred. Pitch from McCaddy. And Lynn swung on and missed. So it's a strike 3, and that's the first strikeout from McCaddy, and that brings up Ron Theroux. And the perpetual hit machine is in full motion. 377 on the year. No home runs and 8 RBI. How you doing, Todd B? That's right, Tribe fan. No bullpen strategy versus an all bullpen strategy. And that infield is not good. You're right. Pitch to Carew. Ground ball up the middle. Lopes gets it by the bag over to Rudy. Downing moves on to third. And it'll be 2 out for Bobby Grich, who just celebrated, I believe, his 74th birthday. If he was hitting 235 at 74, I think he'd take that. He's got 2 home runs and 9 RBI. So Downing on third, 2 out for Grich. McCaddy delivers, and Grich draws the walk. Brings up the DH Don Baylor. 231, 6 home runs, and 16 RBI. I haven't looked past next Tuesday's game. As a matter of fact, you will see the next game on the baseball game on this channel will be the return of Reggie Jackson to New York as the Angels face the Yankees on Retro Sports Network. Tuesday at noon. McCaddy delivers, and Baylor hits a fly ball to center. Back goes Armas. He'll turn and watch it go. So just like that, the Angels strike back with 3 on an absolute gargantuan shot by Don Baylor. Armas had no chance, and that ball would have been absolutely hammered if it went that far. It really didn't. It probably got to where the TV camera was in center field. That is fully into the football seats, and it's 3-2 California. Doug DeCinces comes up, 271, 3 home runs and 7 RBI. So Baylor now has 7 RBIs, and so does Armas with 7 home runs. How you doing, D. Scott? And Mr. Gardner? McCaddy delivers, and DeCinces swung on and missed on an 0-2 pitch. So, looks like we're going to have some pinball for you in the California sun after 1. 3 runs on 2 hits and no errors. It's the Angels 3, the Athletics 2. And so Cliff Johnson can also catch if he needs to. 214, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. On through 18 pitches his first inning, and McCaddy goes back to the dugout with 23 on his arm. Pitch from Zorn. Johnson, ground ball to DeCinces, bang, bang, throw to Carew. And he got him. Johnson didn't have much speed, but that was hit far enough down the line that was dangerous. And so here's Joe Rudy. Joe at 316, no home runs and an RBI. John delivers, and Rudy, fly ball to center. Lynn is there for the second out. So a better start to the innings was on. Here's Jeff Newman. That looks like Merlin Olsen in that picture. He had a little more to that beard. Jeff at 188. 6 for 32. Grounded in 2 double plays. Here's the pitch. Newman. Fly ball again to right center, and Lynn is there, and that retires the side. A's go down in order. After 1.5 million, it's California 3, Oakland 2. Yeah, he went from, it wasn't a straight shot, Dave. He went to Baltimore in 76 and then signed as a free agent in New York in 77 and stayed through 81 and played with the Angels, and then in 87 he was back with Oakland to end his career. So he played 18 years. Juan Benitez, Tim Foley, and Bob Boone were back here in the bottom of the second. Benitez is at 231 on the year. It's a rare error for the game to have someone's name spelled wrong. He scored 3 runs, just 3 for 13. Caddy delivers, and Benitez, does he walk or get hit? No, he got plunked. He got hit in the ribs. And so that brings up Tim Foley. Tim is at 325, no home runs and 2 RBI. And we're going to go hit and run. Foley swings, fly ball to right, Burrows goes over, and it's a foul ball. So it's a 2-1 count. And with Benitez having a 95% chance of stealing second, gonna go. Newman's throw down, the Lobes not in time. So Benitez gets his first steal. And the Angels have another runner in scoring position, nobody out. 2-2 to count to Foley. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Stanley. Over to Rudy. 40 out. Benitez will hold. And they'll bring up Bob Boone. It's a 208. 256 hitter on the real year. No home runs and 4 RBI. But he is there for his defense. He could have hit a Mark Belanger 130 and penned his own name in the lineup every day. McCaddy's pitch. Gets away from Newman. Benitez goes to third on the wild pitch. And the count moves to 2-2. So the Angels have already hung a 3 spot on McCaddy with Baylor's home run in the first. Here's the pitch. Boone, fly ball, shallow center. Should not be deep enough to score Benitez. Armas gets it. Benitez is going to try to go home. 79% chance. Armas has a cannon, but that gets away from Newman a bit up the line. And so the run scores. It's 4-2 California. And so for the first 9 hitters, Steve McCaddy would like to forget it. An inning and 2/3, 2 hits, the home run, 4 earned runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Brian Downing doubled to start the game. McCaddy's pitch, and that's a ground ball being hit left side. And so that's the 3rd Angel hit. But everyone that the Angels have put on has scored. Fred Lynn was a strikeout victim, one of 2 in the first. McCaddy delivers, and there's a ground ball to Klutz at third. Long throw to Rudy is not in time. And so that's an infield hit. And so Billy Martin pacing in the dugout. And that brings up Ron Carew. He's 0 for 1. Pitch from McCaddy, and there's a ground ball base hit up the middle. Downing will hold. And you got a bases full of Charlie's Angels right here. 2 out, Bobby Grich at the plate. He walked and scored in the first. And he's got them loaded with 2 out here in the second. McCaddy delivers. Rich draws ball forward. McCaddy has walked home a run. In fact, he did it on 4 pitches. And so you're bringing up Don Baylor, who had a 3-run shot in the first. 5-2 California, 2 out in the second. McCaddy delivers. Baylor, fly ball to right. Back goes Burrows, and that finally ends the inning. Wow, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After 2, it's the Angels 5, the A's 2. And I'm going to take a drink. You can do what you want, Dave. That's the magic of any of these games, but OOTP encourages you to put players wherever you want. McCaddy getting beat like a cheap drum. Yep. Tribe fan says, and this is nothing compared to his Twins game. He's doing the 2016 Twins season. 11 runs allowed by 3 pitchers, who walked 7 and allowed 5 hits. Yep. That's a beatdown. Ringo Starr, he would even say that's a beating of the drums for sure. So Fred Stanley comes to the plate at 222 with an RBI. Pitch from Zahn. Stanley ground ball to Carew, takes it to first himself for the out. So Zahn has been given a 3-run lead. Ricky Henderson is up 1 for 1. So Jeff Zahn threw his first 9 batters, 2 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, a home run. That was to Armas, and I forgot to show the replay of that, right down the foul pole and left. He has not walked or struck out anybody, but he does not do that a lot anyway. Pitch to Ricky is a liner to Sensei at third, 2 out. A liner, it's a rope, and DeCinces was just kind of guarding the line. And Henderson is surprised that DeCinces caught that. I really wish they would put up the great play stuff when it happens and not wait, because it makes it sound like I'm disinterested. I'm going to go back and go, oh, what a play by DeCinces! All right, here's Lopes. He's 0 for 1. Pitch from Zahn, and Lopes hits this one into left field. Downing should have it, and he does. And so the A's go down in order in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2.5, it's California 5, Oakland 2. And I meant to get a drink, and I didn't take it. Yeah, as Todd Beast points out, 130 stolen bases for Henderson. You know, if we could get on a regular basis, Billy Hamilton probably could steal 100. And I covered Trey Turner for a year and a half. Man, that kid can fly. He's just too valuable to be thrown out there for that many stolen bases. But 75, 80 if they really want him to, but no. Ricky was such a rare talent, such a good leadoff hitter. And so was Timmy Raines with the Expos this year, that you just kind of expected him to go. And by the time that we got into July and August, Oakland was well out of it anyway. And so that's what they played for, was to get Ricky stolen bases. DeCinces struck out his first time up. Bottom of the 3rd, 5-2 Angels. McCaddy base hit up the middle. So I don't know when Mr. Martin's going to yank Mr. McCaddy, but Doug DeCinces on with a single. And that brings up Juan Benitez, who was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored. McCaddy's pitch, Benitez struck out. 1-2 pitch, strike 3 called. So 1 out for Foley, who's 0 for 1. McCaddy delivers, and Foley hits a chopper to 3rd. Klutz his only play is to 1st. Rudy on the bag, and Foley's out. So it's a fielder's choice. Well, not really. I mean, DeCinces goes to 2nd. Bob Boone. Sack fly to shallow left center. Benitez feeling his oats scored from 3rd off of Armas. Pitch from McCaddy, and Boone sends that one in the right field for a base hit. DeCinces round third and score. And it's 6-2 California. For Brian Downing. So McCaddy, now through 18 batters, has only retired 8. 2 2/3 innings, 7 hits, the home run to Baylor. Walked 2 and struck out 3. 6 earned runs on the dance card. So Downing is 2 for 2. He is singled and doubled. McCaddy's pitch. Ball 4. Come on, computer. You gotta yank him. Oh my goodness. Here's Fred Lynn. He's 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Pitch from McCaddy. That's a base hit left center field. Boone will hold at third. And they're batting McCaddy around like a piñata. 11 base runners and 8 outs. Here's Rod Carew, 1 for 2 with a single. Here's the pitch. Carew, base hit right side. Burrows has it. Boone will score. Downing comes around third. Lynn will hold at second to throw to Newman. Gets away from Newman. And Lynn will move up to third. And Carew will take second on the air. And so that's an E9 on Burrows. And that'll do it for McCaddy. 2 2/3 innings, 9 hits. He walked 3. He hit a batter. He struck out 3. And he's responsible, I believe, for 2 more runners. So Jeff Jones comes to the pitch. No, the bases are empty. Wait, we lost Rod Carew again. So somehow Rod Carew decided he didn't want to be on base anymore. Jeff Jones is 2-0 on the year. 12 innings, 8 hits, no home runs. He's walked 11 and struck out 7. He's good for 85 pitches. He last threw an inning and a third Wednesday against the Twins. Allowed 2 hits, walked 4, and struck out 2. I have no idea where Rod Carew went. It's okay, we don't need any more runs for the Angels anyway. Bobby Grich has walked twice. He walked home a run and scored. Pitch from Jones. Grich, fly ball, popped up. Klutz is there, and that does retire the side. Rod Carew is back from his bathroom break. Angels score 4 on 4 hits in an error. And after 3, it's the Angels 9. Oakland 2. Yeah, put a fork in him and he's right. And you're right, Tri-Fin. You'd be lucky to see someone steal 75. I think Hamilton and Turner could do it. Turner says you don't need my run to win anyway. That's the second time that's happened. I got to make sure I got the right version, the most recent version of the game. So here comes Burrows. Jeff Burrows is 0 for 1. Jeff's on now, sitting on a 7-run lead. Now, if this was a Red Sox game to be going, how are they going to blow this? The equivalent of a baseball mic drop. Yep. Zahn's pitch, Burrows, fly ball right center. Back goes Benitez, and he makes the catch against the wall. I believe that canvas part of the wall was to cover some temporary football bleachers, or are they all out? I think what you see in left center is the football bleachers. This place never looked right for football. Here's Tony Armas. About 6 hours ago, he hit a home run. He's 1 for 1. He's driven in 2. He now has 18 RBI on the year. Zahn's pitch, Armas. Fly ball to left. Down and goes back. And this time makes the catch on the track. 75 degrees, winds 11 out to left center. Just the Chamber of Commerce called and delivered a beautiful day for Southern California. Mickey Klutz is 0 for 1. Pitch from Zahn. And there's a big hit in the center. He's going to go for 2. The throw in the Grich is not in time. So he put that one in the gap, and he has no speed, but somehow he made 2 anyway. That brings up Cliff Johnson. 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Johnson right back to Zahn. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Right now, Zon's just getting his work in after 3.5. It's 9-2 California. No, neither for the Angels or the Rams. In fact, the Rams hardly ever sold out. I wonder if this was taken from that 86 playoff series, because that would be about the only time that the Big A was probably ever that full. Bobblehead day. Don Baylor is 1 for 2. He has a 3-run home run. 7 on the year, now 19 RBI. Jones delivers, and Baylor right to Lopes for the first out. Doug the Sensei 1 for 2. You want to know the caddy's line? This will warm the cockles of those who love offense. 2 2/3 innings. He allowed 9 hits, 9 runs, all earned. The home run to Baylor. He walked 3 and struck out 3. And in the process of throwing to 8 outs, he threw 94 pitches, 57 for strikes, and 37 for balls. And at ERA, the Gardner would be even, that number's not something any of your goalies would want. 694. And he has a game score of 4. That's bad. That's very bad. 1 out for the Sensei, 1 for 2. Single, struck out, and scored. Pitch from Jones. Got it. An 0-2 pitch called, strike 3. So brings up Juan Benitez, who's still got a bit of a chip on his shoulder from getting plugged. 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch and struck out. Stole the base and scored. The pitch. Ball 4. So with the 7-run lead, they tell Benitez, don't you dare go. Tim Foley's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Popped up right side. Rudy should have it. And he does, and the side is retired. After 4, California 9, Oakland 2. What, during the American League Championship Series? Or this actual game from April 24th? That was a big series. Because the A's had won the championship, and probably the first week of Reggie being there, there might have been a bobblehead day. Joe Rudy's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left center. Downing makes a great play. He makes a diving stop against the grass. What a lot of people forget, you know, we talk about the Dodgers and their great attendance, especially in the early 80s, going right through today, is the Angels have always been a tremendous draw to Anaheim. Regardless of the record, they'll put anywhere between 2.5 and 4 million in the seats. I think even the most recent renovated place is about 50,000 seats, and a lot of time there are a lot of people there. Newman's 0 for 1, by the way. Don delivers, and there's a liner to left that Downing is going to try to make a dive for. He can't get it. It gets by him, and Newman, who's not very fast, is going to have a double. So a 1-out double for Newman, and here's Fred Stanley, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to center. Lim has it. Newman goes back. He will not tag. 2 outs. So here's Ricky Henderson through 18 batters on at 63 pitches, about halfway home. 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, a home run. That was from Armas. Both the runs are earned, and he hasn't thrown a walk or a strikeout. Pitch to Henderson is a base hit left field. Newman will hold at third. Now they're going to try to score him. And so Brian Downing fires one from left field to Boone. That's not in time. He got the tag, but after the dust had cleared, he was safe. And so it's now 9-3 with 2 outs in the 5th. And just for giggles, they throw over to Ricky Henderson, and he's there. So Lopes is 0 for 2. 2 flyouts. Here's the pitch to Lopes. Ground ball right back to Zahn, over to Carew, and that retires the side. The A's put one more on the board, a run on 2 hits and no errors, and we're halfway home from Anaheim. It's the Angels 9, the A's 3. 56, yeah, he doesn't he? 56,000, yeah, so they drew awful well. They drew a lot better than the Rams did. Here's Bob Boone, he's 1 for 1. He singled and has driven home 2 already, now has 6 RBI on the year. Jones delivers, and Boone, ground ball to Lopes on the grass, comes in, throws to Rudy, and they got him. So Jones has thrown an inning and 2/3 and allowed a walk and a strikeout. Downing is 2 for 2. He was single, double, he scored 3 times. He's also walked. The 4th was the first inning the Angels hadn't scored today. Jones is pitched down, and little looper in the left. Henderson has it. 2 out. Brings up Fred Lynn, 2 for 3. 2 singles, a run scored, and a strikeout. The pitch, here's the ground ball. Lopes with a diving stop by the bag over to Rudy, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, it's California 9, Oakland 3. Glad to have you with us for baseball on this Thursday. Jeff Burrows, the batter. Burrows, Armas, and Klutz. Sounds like a bad law firm. Burrows is 0 for 2. Zahn at 69 pitches, 2-5. Here's the delivery, and that's a base hit up the middle. That's up the base. Lynn turns the back into the infield. Not before Burrows has a double. So the A's are trying to be patient and wait out Zahn. And again, Zahn has thrown 5 innings and hasn't thrown a walk or a strikeout. Tony Armas, 1 for 2 with a 2-run shot. That came in the 1st. Pitch from Zahn, and that's a fly ball to left center. Lynn taps it down. Burrows will hold 1 out. Here's Klutz. Mickey doubled in the double. That's a double. There you go. Did that in the 4th. Rounded out the 2nd and the 1st. And they're going to pinch hit Jimmy Sexton. So, Jimmy at 071. That'll really help you, Billy. 1 for 14. He's thrown it into 2 double plays on a young replay. Don delivers. Sexton ground ball to Gritch. Over to Carew. They got it. So 2 out for Cliff Johnson, who was 0 for 2. Grounded to 3rd and lined out to Zahn in the 4th. Delivers, and he got him. First strikeout for Zahn. He hit the outside corner on a 1-2 pitch, and that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 5.5, it's California 9, Oakland 3. So Carew, Gritch, and Baylor. Carew is 2 for 3. He singled twice and has driven in 3. Now it's 11 RBI in the year. He only had 44 in real life. Jones's pitch popped up right side. Rudy somehow tries to leap over the dugout, but can't do it. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Carew. Carew has only struck out once in 56 at-bats. Jones's pitch. Ground ball to Stanley. Over to Rudy. Out. So score that 6-3. Bobby Gritch has walked twice. He's 0 for 1. Scored and driven in a run. He walked home a run. Jones delivers, and Gritch ground ball to 3rd. Sexton over to Rudy for the 2nd out. Sexton, by the way, is a 3 at 3rd. So a definite downgrade from Klutz defensively. Don Bailey's got a downgrade for the Angels. He's 1 for 3, and his 3-run shot broke this one open early. Here's the pitch. Bailey draws a walk. So no, he's not going to steal with the 6-run lead. Here's the Sensei, 1 for 3. Has a single, struck out twice, and scored once. Jones' pitch to Sensei. Fly ball to shallow center. Armas comes in to make the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 6. It's 9-3 California. Should Grich be in the Hall of Fame? Now that's a good question, Todd. He's one of the better second basemen of all time, but ask yourself this. Would he have ever been considered the best at his position? At the time, I think that's part of the Keltner test. He might have been in the late 70s. But then again, you're talking about Joe Morton being a second baseman. Different leagues, of course, and so Morton was the best second baseman in the late 70s. Would you say that he was the best in the American League at any point? And Sports Time Machine, yeah, if you could look under Harold Baines, sure. I would not vote for Bobby Grich to be in the Hall of Fame. Then again, I wouldn't have voted for Harold Baines. Rudy is 0 for 2. He's on at 81 pitches as we start the 7th. He should go about 125. He delivers, and Rudy hits this one to deep center. Back goes Lynn, and he makes the catch. So it's now 77 degrees. Lots of shirts coming off. Sandals finding seats. Winds, it's comfortable, 14 miles an hour out to left center field. Newman is 1 for 2. Jeff has a double and scored 1 of the 3 runs for Oakland. Here's the pitch. Fly ball shallow center. In comes Lynn for the out. So 2 out. Fred Stanley, the batter. Fred is 0 for 2. Dawn delivers, and Stanley laces that one into left center. That could be 2. No, he's going to hold with a single. And so as Ricky Henderson comes up through 27 batters, Jeff Zahn, 6 2/3 solid inning. 7 hits, 3 runs all earned, a home run by Armas, and just the 1 strikeout. Ricky's 2 for 3, he's singled twice. His average is now up to 209. No stolen base, he has an RBI and a run scored. Here's the pitch, Henderson draws a walk. So Zahn starts to march around the mound, and Davey Lopes, who just, you're right, looks just so thrilled to be in that uniform. 0 for 3. Here's the pitch, Lopes ground ball to the Sensei, great play. He gets on his knees, fires the Grich to retire the side. Stretch time here in Anaheim, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 6.5, it's 9-3 Angels. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, as Todd Beach says, he's borderline for sure. Whittaker the same way. And, Tommy John should be in the Hall just because of the surgery. Jim Cott would be in the Hall, very good. Vita Pinson, Al Oliver. Yeah, I mean, there are some good players that you could make. Fred McGriff, I think, you can make the same argument with. If you look at pure numbers, they're should be in Cooperstown, but I think you gotta look at the achievements. The only one on that list, Todd, that I would say that should be in is Tommy John. He pitched so well. He pitched in 1987. He pitched 12 years after his surgery. Wasn't the most effective pitcher in the world at the end, but he just pitched forever. Kind of like these streams. Here's Benitez. Juan is 0 for 1. He has walked, been hit, stole a base, scored, struck out. Jones delivers, and Benitez draws another walk. Jeff Jones has thrown 3 1/3 good innings. He hasn't allowed a hit. He's walked 3. And no, with a 17,000 run lead, Benitez isn't going anywhere. And struck out 1. He's thrown 64 pitches. Here's Foley. Tim is 0 for 3. Pitch from Jones, and that gets away from Newman. So Benitez moves up to second on the wild pitch. And the count now is a ball and 2 strikes. Foley strikes out. 1-2 pitch was not what he was looking for. He looked at a breaking ball for strike 3, and that's 2 for Jones. 1 out for Boone, and Bob is 1 for 2. Has driven into. He scored. That 1 hit was a single. Jones delivers, and Boone draws a walk. Yeah, you know, Flood, I think, could be making contributions. Of course, you're just going to go for him. He's a good player, too. And if you're going to go for contributions, then you got to go with Marvin Miller, who was the first president of the Players Association. Him and Flood are legends. And we're not going to talk about Rose. Brian Downing is 2 for 3. And a single and double and walk. Newman and Jones confer as Jones starting to retire. Here's the pitch to Downing, and that's a ground ball to third. Sexton, long throw to Rudy. Not going to get him. I don't know. He did get him. Boy, that was close. That was really close. But he is out, and there's no replay. So it's 9-3, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, and here's Freddie Lynn. Freddie's 2 for 4. He singled twice, scored, and struck out. Pitch from Jones. Lynn popped up. Armis, that ball carried more than I thought. Takes the catch to right center. And that retires the side. After 7, California 9, Oakland 3. Dave survived his draft last night. It'll be Jeff Burrows, Tony Armis, and Jimmy Sexton here for Oakland here in the 8th. Don not even getting the fatigue warning. He really could go all the way. Burrows has a double. He's 1 for 3. Zahn's pitch, Burrows, fly ball left. Back goes Downing. That will stay in the yard. It actually was a foul ball. There's just not a lot of room back there. There is a tarp. Yes, unlike the song, it does rain in Southern California. And when it does, man, it pours. Here's Armis. He poured one down that line and left in the first. Give Oakland a 2-0 lead. 1 for 3 with that home run. And Dan Meyer's going to pinch hit for him. So Armis has been called back. And Dan Myers at 311 with 2 home runs and 10 RBI. And hits left as well. He hits a 262 clip. Zahn's pitch, Meyer, ground ball to third. DeCenso, long throw to Curl at first to retire him. And it's 2 out. For Jimmy Sexton. Jimmy's 0 for 1. Pitch from Gone. Fly ball to right. Benitez in the corner makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 7.5 in Anaheim. It's 9-3 California. Yeah, and D. Scott touches on the other thing here. Thanks for keeping this discussion civil, guys. You can really get, not you guys, but there are boards that you get in the Hall of Fame discussions, and it turns into a 5-alarm fire faster than I can order at Taco Bell. A bunch of 20s guys, such as Frankie Frisch and all that, are in it, shouldn't be voted in by their buddies on the Veterans Committee in the 50s. No, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You should never take anyone out. If you've been enshrined, someone thinks you belong. Then again, I am the Burlington, Vermont president of the Jim Rice fan club, so we are not going to go there. Jones is coming out to pitch the 8th, 4 1/3 innings, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. He's right at 85 pitches. Joey's going to leave him in too long, I'm sure. But he has done yeoman's work just to keep it a 6-run game. Rod Carew, 2 for 4, single twice, 3 RBI. Here's the pitch. Opposite field to left, back goes Henderson, and it's going to drop for a double. In fact, I haven't seen that before. That hit the wall and bounced over. It's a ground rule double. And so Jones will now face Gretsch, who's 0 for 2. Let's watch that again. I've never seen this in this game. That's a ground rule double for Carew. Pitch to Gretsch. Fly ball to left. Henderson goes back. He makes the catch, and Carew won't move to third. You can make the case for Dwight Evans. David Pinson was already mentioned. Bill Madlock was a good pick in the late 70s. I don't think he played long enough. You know, look at some of those Washington National Senators players or Philadelphia A's from the 30s and 40s after they got bad. They didn't have toil in the conditions. And the shortstop I'm thinking of the play for Cecil Travis. I mean, he played forever and was a good defensive shortstop. And his family's got to buy a ticket. But you can get in the argument whether you want a big haul or a small haul. And I'm not sure that you could make an argument for both and no one will ever be happy. Here's Baylor, 1 for 3. That 3 being that 3-run shot in the first that gave California the lead. Jones's pitch. Baylor draws ball 4. And so Jones is now at 103 pitches as a reliever. Doug DeCinces at the plate. He's 1 for 4 with a run scored and 2 strikeouts. Imagine trying to program an AI to mimic this. Here's the pitch. DeCinces base hit into right. Carew will round third to score. Baylor will hold it third. And that's it for Jones. Bob Ochinko comes in to pitch for Oakland. Oh, and these numbers are giving Jim. Oh, he's a little weird and all that. 0-1 on the year, 11.70 ERA. Pitched last night against these Angels through 2 innings. Remember, that went 12 before the Angels came back and won. Allowed a hit, walked 3, and struck out 1. He's not allowed a home run, I don't think. Anyway, 10 innings, 13 hits, 13 runs, all earned. Oh my God. 10 walks and 6 strikeouts, and the ERA is 11.70. On April 18th, in 2/3 of an inning against Seattle, he allowed 9 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. He's allowed 2 home runs. And to paraphrase the popular song, that is some kind of terrible. 1 out for Benitez. It was 0 for 1, and you know what? Here he comes. You came to see Reggie. You're going to get some Reggie. 354, 5 home runs, and 11 RBI. Ochinko delivers, Jackson pocket up. Right side, really should have it. And he does. 2 out for Tim Foley, who's 0 for 4. I didn't see Burleson's name there yet. He was there for 86. Ochinko's pitch is a ground ball up the middle. Bob has it over to Rudy, and that retires the side. So Reggie stays in the game at right. And with a 7-run lead after extra innings, Zahn's going to say, I want to finish this. Cliff Johnson's 0 for 3. With a strikeout. And he goes down again. 1-2 count, and he looked at strike 3. Brings up Joe Rudy. He's 0 for 3. And Rob Piccolo will pinch hit for him. Rob, 167, 5 for 30 with 2 RBI. Ow. Zahn's pitch, fly ball popped up. Rich should have it. My neck popped as soon as he hit that. And there's 2 out. Jeff David, last chance for the A's here. 1 for 3 with a double. 3 runs, 7 hits, and an error for Oakland. They've stranded 5. California made this look easy. 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors. And they've stranded 10. Zahn 1 out away from a complete game. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left center. Back goes Lynn, and the ball game is over. And so the Angels take care of business. They win last night, and I'm sure that they win today. 10-3. Hang on, we'll play the other games on Saturday really quick. Zahn, 9 innings. 7 hits, 3 runs all earned. The 1 home run to Armas. He walked 1 and struck out 2. He only did it in 112 pitches. And in California, as he goes to 4-0 on the year, California's ERA as a team is 2.73. That's how you win divisions. It took 3 hours. No, it didn't. No, it did not take 3 hours and 29 minutes to play it. So Don Baylor, well, Zahn's going to get player of the game. He pitched really well. Baylor 1 for 3 with a 3-run shot. Downing 2 for 4 with a double. And Carew 3 for 5 for 3 RBI. And so let's really quick play the rest of the day. And you can see standings and all that. Whatever happened to the Hall of Fame is a good book about the situation. I would agree with that, D. Scott. All right, you ready? Here's the rest of the day in baseball for you. Phillies beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are now 8-8, 4 behind Montreal and Chicago. Chicago will never stay in first. Dick Ruthven beat them 2-1. Expos down the Mets 5-3. Expos are 10-2. Ray Burris got the win. He's 1-1. Warren Cromartie, you can look at me reading this, 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Yankees beat the Tigers 6-4. Yanks go to 4-9. Doyle Alexander gets his first win. Dave Winfield 3 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBI. Toronto beat the Red Sox. Toronto's 9-6. I have to look at 82. I don't think Toronto really contended. The Red Sox did. Murray gets the win. He goes to 4-0. Stanley gets the loss. Are we really surprised at that? Dave Stapleton went 1 for 2. The Don't Listen beats Don't Listen. Cubs beat the Pirates 10-4. Fergie Jenkins goes to 3-1. Keith Moreland 2 for 5, 2 home runs. He now has 4 on the year and 3 RBI. Atlanta is now 8-8. San Diego jumped him 14-7. Eichelberger goes to 2-3. Terry Kennedy had a 3 home run game. He has six now, 4 for 5 and 7 RBI. White Sox beat the Orioles 3-2. It's so early. The Orioles are 6-7. Salomon Barojas, their closer, gets the win 4-1. Don Stanhouse, Mr. Fopak, takes a loss. He's 0-3. Greg Luzinski with his first home run of the year. He went 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. Milwaukee shuts out Texas 2-0. Pete Vukovich goes to 3-1. Kansas City over Cleveland 9-8. Bud Black goes to 2-0. Hal McRae, who had a good game for us last night, 3 for 5 with the second home run of the year and 4 RBI. Cincinnati shuts out Houston 1-0. Minnesota over Seattle 5-3. And Los Angeles loses to San Francisco 6-5. Gary Lavelle with a win 3-1. Steve Howe with a loss 2-1. And Steve Garvey 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. Those are your leaders, and those are the standings. As we've played now 3 weeks of the season. You wouldn't know it because of that crazy first week. The Dodgers are 10-6, a game and a half over San Francisco, 2 over Atlanta, and 2.5 over San Diego. In the East, Montreal and the Cubs are tied for first. St. Louis 8-8, 4 back. That will change. California, a game and a half lead in the American League West over the White Sox. Kansas City 2.5 back. Oakland starting to fade. And the Tigers 11-5, a game and a half over the Blue Jays, 2.5 over Milwaukee, 3.5 over Baltimore. It's early. A lot can happen. So, a surprise stream for you. Saturday, we'll do some surprises over the weekend, but Sunday, please join. Sunday, please join me for our Cards and Dice special, the pre-play of the National Football League Championship game of 2018, the Rams and the Patriots from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Thank you so much. Hit that like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Chuckett. We'll talk to you the next time.